right, hi guys. I'm gonna walk you through the 12 moves of Christmas for the Holiday Hustle program. We're gonna start with number 1 and move our way up to number 12. But first, let's do a little bit of warm up because it's hard to do these moves without our joints being a little bit warm. So let's start with our feet wide and turned forward, so parallel feet, and let's just do a little bit of hinging, just light and easy. Make sure those hamstrings in the back of the thighs feel good. You're sending your butt back. You're coming back up. I'm going to show you this from the side as well. Back and up and back and up. And then on this next one down, let's just stay down and get a nice forward fold. You can keep your hands on your thighs, your shins, or the floor, whatever feels good. Just take a deep breath down here. As you exhale long and slow, we sink down into it. Feel free to bend your knees, straighten your knees. I'm a little bit warmed up already, so I'm kind of going into this a little bit deeper already, but you should ease in and move your body however it feels like it needs to, just to kind of feel looser, warmer. We're gonna walk those hands out, getting a little bit of a down dog, like a wide down dog position. Again, you can always pedal those heels, bend those knees. Bend both knees, pressing up. We're just trying to open up and warm up the joints, the ankles, the knees, the hips, pushing the hands forward, sort of engaging the shoulders here. So I'm sort of pushing the shoulders up to the ears. And then let's walk the hands back in and come up. Ooh, and let's get a little bit of rotation. So take those hips, rotate those hips around. Turn the knee in, turn the knee out. If you want to hold on to something for balance here, feel free. All right, we're just getting some rotation through the hip joint. So we come in, out, touch. Really trying to hold our balance on this other leg while we do that. And let's get the other side. So get your balance on this leg, come in, out, touch. Again, you can hold on to something for balance. I think I did 6 on the other side, 4, 5, and 6. Let's stretch out our hip flexors a little bit too. So I'm gonna stagger my feet, let my heel come up in the back, bend both knees a little bit and tuck that tailbone and lift the pubic bone, reach the arms up and lean back a little. If that feels like too much with your arms up, they can stay down here on your hips or you can hold on to something for balance. We're just keeping that tailbone tucked so we really stretch through the hip flexor. I'm keeping my ribs down so that I can just lean the whole torso back rather than arching back, right? So leaning the torso, we're trying to stretch into that hip flexor. Now I'm gonna take it long, press my heel down, and I've shifted. Instead of trying to tuck my tailbone under, I'm letting it go back now so that I can start to forward fold and hinge. Not forward fold, but hinge forward over that front thigh. I'm keeping those legs straight. I'm pushing my feet out into the floor. I'm locking those knees out. I'm only coming to where I can keep those hips nice and squared off to the front so that I feel that hamstring stretch in the back. If you're more used to this and you can take it further and keep the legs straight and not feel like you're overdoing that hamstring stretch, feel free. But you don't need to go very far to feel this. I'm just pretty used to it, so I'm going further. We're gonna round down if that feels good for you, rounding that back down and getting that deeper stretch here. From here, if you're down, or if you're not, if you're still up here on the thigh, that's fine too. We're gonna inch that back foot back, start to bend your front knee, and we're just gonna keep scooting that foot back, 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 until you're looking like you're in a long, deep lunge, right? So I'm forward. You could still be here with the hands on the floor, or you can be up on that knee. Either way, but I'm taking that leg in the back and I'm trying to extend it and lift the back of the knee toward the ceiling. Okay, and then I'm going to put my weight over that front leg, drag that other leg in, and stand up, and then we'll get the other side. So now we have the other leg back. The heel is up, the knees are slightly bent. I'm tucking that tailbone under. I'm pulling that pubic bone up, right? So that helps me tip my hip even more. And then if you want, you can put the arms up. If not, they don't have to go up. But we're gonna take that whole torso and lean it back. So we're not arching through our back. I'm not extending like a back bend. Instead, I'm keeping those ribs down, keeping that tailbone tucked, and leaning everything back together so I really get that stretch here in the front of the hip. And then we're gonna get tall, straighten out both legs, bring the arms down, place that heel down so you feel a little bit of calf stretch, and then we're gonna start to hinge over this front leg, keeping those hips squared off. It's very easy to let your hips turn out because that makes it feel easier on the hamstring, but we're trying to stretch the hamstring. So even if you only tilt a little bit and you work on keeping those hips square and tipping that tailbone back, that's all you need. You're probably gonna feel it right there. If you're more used to this and you wanna take it further, you can. Make sure you're breathing steadily. If it feels good to you to round out that back and come lower, you can. Whether you're down here or not, we're gonna start to move that back foot back and bend that front knee forward and start to look up so you have that little bit longer back. We get that long, right? So you could be up here, hands up or down, doesn't matter. Extending that back leg, so that means I'm trying to press the back of my knee toward the ceiling. And just breathe and find this nice hip opening stretch in the front. And if it's too much, if I'm holding these longer than you want to, just come out of it sooner. And then scoot yourself a little forward, put your weight over that front foot and drag this foot in. And we're coming up. Okay, let's get a little bit of upper body stretch out too. So I'm going to lay on my stomach and I'm gonna put one arm straight out to the side, put my other arm here. I'm just gonna roll into this straight arm or toward this straight arm. I'm gonna hook my feet into the floor behind me. As I start to roll toward this arm, I'm gonna crawl that arm away from me and just start to roll my body back. I'm gonna bring this hand with me. And once I get to where I feel like it's a pretty good stretch, I'm just gonna lay my head down and relax into this. You can also play around with your shoulders. So that front shoulder cap right here that's close to the floor, I can push it down into the floor and feel more shoulder stretch, or I can lift it off the floor and try to tuck my shoulder blade back into my back and feel more chest stretch. So see if you can feel that difference and just breathe here. As I breathe out long and slow, like a deflating balloon, I might find that I go a little further. So inhale through the nose. Exhale, my hips dropped back a little more. But also I dumped my shoulder cap, the top of my shoulder dumped down into the floor under my head here. So I'm gonna see if I can pull it back. Try to lift that front shoulder cap off the floor. It's gonna make you contract in your back a little bit, but it's also gonna make that stretch a little deeper in the chest. And then let's try the other side. So come back slowly, switch your arms out, and now we're gonna crawl this straight arm away from us as we roll this way. Bring this other hand with me. Let your legs stack if you're going that far. If you're not going that far and you kind of feel like you've already got enough stretch, you can stick that knee out to prop you up if you want. Once you get to that spot where it feels like, okay, that's a pretty good stretch, from here I can try to breathe into it more, but you want to make sure that you can still breathe and you have not gone so far that you're grimacing or holding your breath. So take that deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. My hips went back a little bit. I'm actually going to bring this hand in a little closer. That kind of helps me push up into that stretch a little deeper, which I'm ready for now. Since I took that big breath, I'm going to try one more time with that big breath. And also make sure that you are holding that shoulder cap up off the floor, right? So that you're really feeling the chest stretch. In through the nose. As you exhale, watch out for that shoulder dropping, the shoulder that's right under your head. Watch out for it dropping into the floor. See if you can still hold that shoulder up off the floor. Squeeze into those back muscles a little bit and help yourself open up the chest more. come back to the front for this. And then let's just do a little bit of cobra just to extend our back a little. So I'm gonna have my hands right close to my chest here. I'm gonna squeeze my armpits, so pushing my upper arms into my armpits, pulling my shoulder blades down the back. So it's like you're trying to pile up all whatever, skin, fat, whatever, muscle, anything that's going on in your back. You're trying to pile it all up by driving your shoulder blades down the back, squeezing my butt, and pressing up into this stretch. So I'll show you this one sideways too. We'll do one more. So from here, I have the hands right at the chest. I'm squeezing the butt. I'm squeezing the armpits. I'm dragging the shoulder blades down the back. And then lifting and squeezing that butt still and pushing through the hands and getting that nice stretch. I'm trying to open up, arch back, but keep those shoulders. Don't lose the shoulders up here. Keep them down. And then come back in. And let's get one child's pose and then we'll start. So knees wide, feet narrow, pushing the floor forward, sending the hips back. You can rock side to side a little bit. Make sure those knees are nice and wide. This mat is actually not quite wide enough. I'm gonna go just outside the mat. That just helps you really sink into it more, helps you open up your hips. Try to take some deep breaths here and sink into it. Think of getting longer when you inhale and then getting lower when you exhale. All right, well, let's start on the moves. So our first move, number one, is our deep squat, upright, knees out hold. I am gonna give the option for the tripod headstand because I know we've done that in the past and some people find it very fun and a fun challenge. However, if you don't, it's not the real move and you don't have to do it that way. So this is deep squat, upright. So we're really just trying to find our deep squat where we can actually have our back upright. So notice that my heels are right under my butt bones. I'm not trying to do it way out here because that would be really hard. I can't get into the deep squat. You want to find your natural deep squat. See, and I'm already not as warm as I was this morning because I did this morning in a class at the end of a class and I could put my heels down then, but now I can't. So it just depends how warmed up you are. It's okay to pop your heels up. We can rock side to side. I'm using my elbows to, excuse me, I'm swallowing my spit. I'm using my elbows to push my knees out and get a little more inner thigh stretch. That also gives me the strength to actually lift up through my back. So if you see this from the side, you might find that you have to be like this in your squat because it's hard to hold your squat. You may not have the ankle mobility, maybe not the hip mobility, maybe not the core strength to hold up like this, but when you push into your elbows into your knees, it helps you lift up. Another option would be to hold on to something. You could hold on to a door frame, a countertop, a table, something, anything sturdy that you can kind of hold on to help yourself get this lift and find that correct squat position a little bit better. And again, heels can be up. You can also even have your heels up on something. So you could put a couple books. I'm gonna use the edge of this mat to give my heels a little bit of lift. That's already a little bit easier, right? So just put your heels up in what feels like a more natural position for you, and then you can feel like you're fully in that squat. So this one, move number one, we always hold for a minute, and it's really just about keeping this upright, knees out, heels right under butt position, and working toward that. If you have to hold on to stuff at first, that's great. You can build it over time. The idea is that these moves, as they get released throughout the month, you can then do them any day after that for bonus points. So it's encouraging us to keep working on these moves. You can work on your squat every single day. You will get a lot better at it by the end of the month if you do that. So let me quickly show you the advanced option that you can work on if you'd like. And that is to go into our tripod. So I would put my hands down and keep the upper, like just above my elbow on the inside of the knee. Come down, putting your head straight down until you get your hips. I'm gonna lift my hips all the way until I feel balanced. And once I feel balanced enough, it's gonna be easy to let my toes come off the floor. If it's not easy for your toes to come off the floor, then you just haven't gotten yourself balanced yet. I'm gonna do it this way so that I have the opportunity to roll out of it if I want to. So head down, hips up. Keep working on that part. If you're trying this is just extra for fun. Keep working on getting those hips up, up, up until you feel that balance. Then once you've got that, you might be able to lift up and I'm rolling out. Okay, so you can roll out or you can let your feet go the other way. That's why I put my mat this way so I could roll out of it. Okay, so that's move 1. So move 2 is balancing platters. So this is internal and external hip rotation. So we're standing for this one and we have to hold our leg up like this. We're gonna hold that for a couple seconds and then we have to turn it like this. This is where you're balancing your platter, right? So if it's like this side of your leg is flat like a tabletop. That's the idea, that's what you're going for. And then we do a second time. Hold here and hold here. Notice how much you have to work in that standing leg to make this happen. Let's try the other side. So it's two times each way per side. So now we're on this leg, we're gonna come up. So we have this externally rotated leg, right? Then we're gonna turn it, internal rotation. So now the heel, the side of the heel, side of the knee, this is all basically tabletop. I know I'm not quite up there, that's fine, you do your best. Turn it back here, and a few seconds, turn it back here, and hold. Again, you can be holding something for balance here. I recommend you hold something for balance here because you want to really be able to think about what your hip's doing and not have to worry about all the balance holding at first. I'm used to it, so I'm balancing, but try it with holding something first so you can really think about what your hip's doing. So that is 2. So number 3 is a turning airplane. This is more hips, but instead of being upright, we're in a forward hinged position. So it's getting a little bit more of rotation of the hips in this flexed position rather than the standing position. So again, hold on to something if you need. I recommend holding on to something. You're coming into an arabesque, right? So pretend I'm holding a wall in front of me. Let me actually get a chair because we're going to use the chair later anyway. Okay, so I have this in front of me. I could be holding here or on the back of it, doesn't matter. So I'm finding my arabesque. So what I don't want to do is allow my back to round, right? Think of an ice skater with the long lines or a gymnast with long lines. You're lifting your chest, you're extending your back. You're using your butt to hold that leg up. Then we're gonna do the turning. So the turning looks like this. You're gonna keep your shoulders and head forward, but you're gonna turn through the hip. So what I'm doing is I'm actually squeezing into that standing side butt to push that hip. That right hip is kind of trying to squeeze under the other hip, like it's trying to come toward my center line. Then when we come down, I'm not only coming down to flat, my hips are flat against the floor now, but I'm gonna come even further. Woo, and then come all the way in like that. What you wanna make sure that you're doing is not falling back, especially if you're holding on to something. You wanna make sure you're not leaning back and just hanging from whatever you're holding on to. You wanna keep that hip right over that leg so that you could eventually actually have your balance and do it without the hold. Open up, squeeze that hip under, come down. Ooh, see, I needed the hold. Turn it in. It's hard. The turning in one at the bottom is really hard. I'm gonna do the other leg. Sorry, I'm gonna do the other leg this way so that you can see from the back how the lining up of the hip looks, right? So I'm holding here. I'm gonna keep my balance right over. I'm gonna try as little hold as I can, but I'm gonna have it there just in case. I'm keeping this right leg straight behind the right hip. All that happens here is I move this left hip, squeeze it, tuck it under, you're gonna feel, if you're really doing that correctly, you're gonna feel some inner thigh stretch on this bottom leg. Notice how shaky my leg is. There's a lot going on. And then I'm gonna bring it all the way down, not just flat, but even further. You're gonna really feel that deep spot in your butt working to hold this stability while you're trying to internally rotate that hip. And then come back out. So we have to do 3 of these per side. So let's quickly get those other 2. I only technically did 1 per side, so I'm gonna come up and all the way down. And here would be number 3. Squeeze up. I feel that inner thigh stretch down here. I'm really tucking, I'm really squeezing in. I'm not just turning, but I'm actually squeezing that butt cheek in. And then coming down, not losing my position. I'm not gonna fall away to the side. I'm gonna keep it right here and try to rotate that hip in and come down. Let's get my other 2 on the other side. So I'm here, I have that extended chest, that lifted chest, extended back. I'm squeezing the hip underneath, really feeling inner thigh stretch, really squeezing in on that butt cheek, then coming back down to level and coming all the way into where it really feels like it burns right in there. Was that 1 more? I just lost count. I don't remember if I did 2 more or 1 more. Let's do 1 more to be safe. And turn it. Right, I was taking it very slow. You can take it at a little more normal pace, but I was trying to show all the little components as we went. So that's number 3. So 4 is don't spill your eggnog. So that is a Turkish getup. You can have a weight for this. I'm gonna grab a small dumbbell. You don't have to have a weight. But we're gonna, just so you can see, the weight is like your eggnog that you're not gonna spill, because it's gonna stay straight up in the air while you do this. So this one works like this. This one has a few components to it, and you can break this down to do part of it if this doesn't work for you. So you're gonna lay on the floor. You're gonna have your feet wide. One is straight, one is bent, but they're kind of V'd out. The arm that's on your straight leg side is also straight out, and the arm that's on your bent leg side is holding your dumbbell or your glass of eggnog that you're gonna try not to spill. So from here, we're gonna use some exhale and a little bit of oomph to come up to balance on this straight arm elbow. So I am going to press up and lift up. So now I'm on the elbow of that straight arm. I bent the arm. Now I'm gonna lift up even further and get that arm straight. I'm gonna pull it in a little bit. So now I have this straight arm down, straight arm up, straight leg and bent leg. I'm gonna push up on this bent leg and that straight arm to lift my hip. Drive this leg through. I'm gonna bend it and drive it back until I have this knee back enough that it's right under that hip. I'm still not spilling my eggnog up here. I'm going to then lift up, come off that arm and get up to just a kneeling position. But now I have that one leg in the back that's kind of sticking out. I want to line it up with the way I'm going here, so I'm going to turn it and then stand all the way up. Now I got to come back down. I might as well do it on the mat. So I'm going to come back down to that kneeling position. I'm going to turn that leg in the back. I'm going to put the hand back down. Still not spilling my eggnog. Now I got to get this bent leg back here to come back out, shooting back out the front. So I lift, shoot it back out the front, sit down. Then I come to my elbow again, and then I go all the way back down. We have to do 4 of these per side. So I'm going to go through it a little more quickly now. You can always rewind and watch how I did it slow if you're not sure. So elbow, hand, press up, shoot through, lift up, turn, step together. Bring it back down, down, turn, hand, shoot the leg through, sit, elbow, lay back. 2 more. Elbow, hand, lift, shoot through, press up, turn, press, together, back down, turn, down, shoot through, sit, elbow, down. I haven't spilled my eggnog yet, I don't think. I should try it with real eggnog. Last one, elbow, hand. Notice the breath if you have a tough spot. Right? You can use that teeth breathing. Bring it up, turn. Anytime you need a little extra oomph and tightening in that core, we breathe like that. Turn, down, out, sit, elbow, down. And now I gotta do 4 on the other side. So now I've got it in this arm, this leg out, this leg bent, this arm out. I'm gonna come up, elbow. I almost spilled my eggnog. Arm, lift, shoot through, come up. I'm getting used to how this side feels. Turn and press. It might feel different on different sides for you. Bring it down, turn that foot, place the hand to the side. Lift and shoot that leg through. I'm weaker on this side. And then elbow and down. Okay, here we go. Elbow, hand, lift, shoot through, lift, turn, step up, bring it back, down, turn, arm, shoot through, sit down, elbow, and down. 2 more. Elbow, hand, lift, shoot through. I almost didn't shoot through all the way. Turn, lift it up, kneel it back down, turn, down. You can always try this without a weight first. Woo, bring it in, elbow, and down. Was that 3? I've lost track. Here's 4. 1, press, up, and lift, and turn, and up. Come all the way back down, down, turn, side, shoot through, and elbow, and down. Ooh, I did it. Okay. Nice. So that is your Turkish get up. If that whole thing does not work for you, you could always do part of it, such as just trying to curl up or have this arm down here and still maybe just get up to the elbow. Just working on components of this is fine. Can you just get the ab control to come elbow, right? Notice how I lift up and out of it and then curl back down. Lift up out, use your exhale right there. Curl back down. Maybe you can take it 2 steps. Try this, right? And just get that part back to the elbow, back down, right? So really make this work for you and work on components of it if the whole thing doesn't work. Number 5. Number 5 is burpees. 5 golden burpees. So, options for this one. You can start your burpees off in a very slow, modified, controlled way. They do not have to be crazy. This is how we do burpees in my older adult class at the community center. And you still get your heart rate up and you still feel great and you still work your muscles. So you have a chair in front of you. You come down. It's basically like doing a sumo squat. I have my feet turned out a little bit, really close to the front corners of the chair, and I just come straight down. The key is to work on that top of plank position where you're actually pushing the chair away from you and squeezing your arms, your upper arms into your armpits. If we lose that, then we're not holding on to the stability of our shoulders that we want in our plank. Because when we step back, we're trying to actually hold a proper plank. Then we step back in, and then we press up. So that would be your slow burpee with a chair. Down, back, back, in, up. As you get more used to that, you can start to take it a little quicker. As long as you're not doing this, I see this a lot happening. Notice where my chest went. My shoulders are not over my hands anymore. And what usually happens is people end up bending their elbows and they've lost all that control of their shoulders. So we need to press straight and come up here where we're squeezing into the armpits and holding a proper top of plank and keeping those shoulder blades down, right? You can also modify it more if you need to not step back all the way and just work on that position without actually making your abs have to hold an entire plank on the chair, right? Or if you need to start making it harder, you're here, jump, jump, here, jump, up. I did a little 1-2 leg thing. It should be together. If you're jumping, you should be able to do 2 feet together. And notice that breathing again. If you are ready for floor burpees, they would look like this. Same thing, but you're coming down to the floor. You could go in between that too. You could put a couple yoga blocks down so you only have to come to here and then press back, right? This is also kind of working on your deep squat. It's that same position. So you're here, back, in, up. So you can keep it slow and controlled like this. If you're really used to burpees and you know you're all good, then you can go quicker. And you can even add that jump at the top. Right, so you have lots of options for this. Right, you could even step this. So let's say you're getting down to the floor or to some yoga blocks, or you're not ready for the jumping, step in. Find that really good plank. Make sure you're able to hold on to that good plank. And then step in and up. I can't talk anymore, I need water. Okay, so I know I did more than 5 of those, so we're good on that. And let's go to number 6. Number 6 is rotating antlers. This is working on our thoracic spine rotation. So that's like the center / upper back. Okay, so we're gonna have the knees a little bit wide because that's gonna help us stay more stable in the hips. We're trying to use our abs to keep our hips in the same position while we rotate through the upper back. So knees are kind of wide. I'm actually gonna turn my mat so I don't have to be restricted by the width of the mat. Hand is down basically in the center. I might be just a little bit to the side of center to be a little closer to the shoulder, whatever feels very sturdy that you can push straight down. And we're getting that same idea that we had in the burpee where I'm pushing the floor away, I'm lifting the chest, I'm working on that shoulder stability, that ability to keep your shoulder down into your back, right? So I'm not like this, I'm not hanging in my shoulder. I'm not letting my elbow pop out because that just allows my shoulder blade to kind of ride up and round forward. I want to drive it down into my back. Push the floor away. So from here, we're going to stick an antler on the side of our head. We just basically point our fingertips at the side of our head. Wrist is straight with forearm, elbow is out. And we're going to try to keep our hips, because what's really easy to have happen is as we rotate, my hips could easily kind of go with me here. I want to keep them centered. So I'm going to push the floor away. I'm going to squeeze behind the shoulder blade to, and you'll notice you have to start to kind of grip into those obliques to keep your hips from wanting to go with you, right? So press up. I'm going to keep the hips there and breathe out and do it again. Keep the hips there, breathe out, do it again. And you'll notice if you're keeping your hips stable, it's going to make you really work a lot behind that shoulder blade to get that rotation back, right? You're gonna really strengthen behind that shoulder blade. If it's not feeling that hard behind the shoulder blade, then you're probably allowing your torso to kind of come with you and you feel like, wow, look how great, I can rotate so far, but it's really just your whole body going with you rather than stabilize here and use your upper back to actually turn. So let's get the other side. So we're here, push into the floor. That means right when you push, you're gonna see your chest rise up. Keep the hips stable. I'm gonna squeeze up behind that shoulder blade to get more. More behind the shoulder blade. And I can only go about that far. This is 6 per side. So here's 2. Actually, I think I said 6 total on this one because each one takes a little bit of time to really get into the full position. So this will be the 3rd on each side, which will be 6 total. So push, rotate without letting the hips go with you. Squeezing up behind that shoulder blade. That's where you feel the burn. Getting as much rotation as you can by using the upper back, not allowing the body to help you. I got one more on this side. Here's my antler. I'm gonna push into the floor. That means I'm really locked out through this arm. I'm rotating up here, not in here. Ooh, it takes work down here in the abs to not let that little shift happen. I'm like, no, stay there while I go up here, right? It's hard to differentiate that or keep those two separate. Okay, that was 6. Here's number 7. 7 worms a inchin. This is basically forward fold out to plank and then walk your feet back up to forward fold. So this one can travel, or you can just keep turning around and doing it in the same spot. So you're gonna start with your forward fold. Again, if you can't quite get to the floor here, that's fine. Just bend your knees, allow yourself to get to the floor that way. We're gonna walk out. So I'm gonna do it with straight knees, but you can walk out with bent knees, right? I'm gonna keep a nice control coming all the way until I have a plank. Hold your plank for a couple seconds. Make sure you're not just whizzing through that plank quickly. You can actually hold a good plank. Notice I don't dump into my shoulders. I keep my shoulders pushed apart, my shoulder blades apart, my shoulders away from here. Then I'm gonna start lifting my hips and walking my feet in. Again, you can bend your knees if you need to, right there, right? And then I'm gonna go again. Walk out until you have a plank. Hold that good plank for a couple seconds. Then the feet, bring the hips up, walk the feet in. I'm probably gonna go off camera if I do another one, so I will turn around. Here's 3. Walk out, find your plank. Hold those shoulders away from the ears, but at the same time, don't sink the belly down, right? I gotta pull that belly up and pull the shoulders away from the ears and squish the armpits. Then walk the feet up. Then the hands out. This is number 4. Hold those squeezing armpits, shoulders away from ears, abs up, and then come in. I want you to hold that plank long enough that you know you've done all the correct things in the plank before you come out of it. This is 5, right? Walking in. And then I'm going to turn around for 6 and 7. Walking out, right? You can whiz through this stuff and not pay attention to the muscles that you're supposed to be and think, yeah, there, I did it, it's easy. Or you can do it with intention and get all the muscles you're supposed to be working and get a lot out of it. Coming down to that plank, pull those shoulders away from the ears, pull those abs up, and last feet up. We lift the hips, we walk the feet. Good. Was that 7? I think it was. If I'm off by 1, sorry. Okay, so 7 of those. Next is our sobriety checkpoints. So we have 8 sobriety checkpoints, 8 per leg. I'm gonna get rid of my mat for this one because it'll just be in my way. We're gonna do little hops. So you have to hop and single leg toe touch. Feel free to have something next to you for this, and the hops can be very tiny, or if you are ready for a little bit bigger, more impact, go ahead and make them big. So we start in a little kind of skier position. We're gonna swing those arms, and when your arms go forward, that's gonna be your momentum to jump. When you jump back again, you're still gonna jump when your arms are forward. That gives you the momentum to jump whether you're going forward or back. So we go, arms forward, jump, and then we're gonna come down and try to touch the toe, one leg. Then arms forward, jump, come and touch the other toe. We can make this easier and harder. Let me do a few this way first. Jump, toe. I didn't quite touch my toe, that's fine as long as you try. Here, toe. That was 4. Here's 5. Here's 6. Here's 7. I did say 8 per leg, didn't I? Here's 8. So that would technically only be half of them. Here's a way you can make it a little harder if you want. You can try to jump. This actually is a lot harder. I'm not gonna say a little harder, this is a lot harder. I'm not even sure I can do it this way, but we'll try. Jumping onto one foot. Woo, and then touch. And then jumping onto the other foot, going back. This might be even harder. Oh, if I really concentrate, look at one spot for your balance. Jump onto one foot. I touched. and jump onto one foot. I touched. I did the first two, and now I'm losing the balance. And, oops, I forgot to go on one foot. And back. There we go. All right, okay, so if this is too much to even be jumping in the single leg toe touching, you can make it really tiny, right? We can just kind of go like that, make it small. Have a countertop or something next to you. Do the toe touch, or don't quite reach your toe. Do what looks like a single leg squat while you hold on to something for balance, right? So pretend this is the back of my couch. I would do my tiny jump, right? And then I'd hold the couch, touch. Do my tiny jump, hold the couch, except now I need it over here because I'm doing this arm. So you could do all one side first, 8 on one, 8 on the other. That would work too, if you don't want to have to turn around every time. So that is sobriety checkpoints. Number 9, roll back get-ups. Here we go. You're gonna want a soft surface for this. I'm gonna do it at a little bit of an angle. This has options as well. The idea is to get up, but you don't have to. So first, if you're not used to this, let's just work on rolling. We wanna keep that rounded out back, hands behind the thighs, so that we can just roll, right? So just work on that. Can you kind of keep a smooth, rounded back and roll? It's like drag your belly button back, smoothly roll, come in. Once you feel more used to that, you can try to add a little bit of arms coming off the legs, because that arms going back is gonna give you some of that momentum. So we're gonna round out, arms go back, right? And maybe you just work on that ability to actually lay your arms back on the floor and pick your hips up, because that takes some ab control too. Pull back, here. Can you get the arms to the floor and lift the hips and find that control? If you're getting used to that, then you can try to actually roll up and attempt to stand. So you're here, back with the arm, and we're trying to stand up. However, if you don't stand up, if that doesn't work, we've got a couple options. You can put your hand in the floor to help you, or just don't stand up. Just attempt it, but don't. So we come back. You can hold here, or if you're used to it already and you're just ready to have your arms straight, that's fine too. Come back. You can push, and let's say you don't get up, but you just get your butt off the floor a little, that's fine. Come back, push off the floor, breathe. I didn't come up that time. Right? It's really about breathing out, getting that push off the floor, and really giving yourself that momentum and that exhale, because then you're gonna contract your abs more, which is gonna fling you forward quicker, which is gonna get you into that lift off easier. And then once you kind of have that momentum going forward, you're in that deep squat and it's a little easier to come out of. They take time, so keep working on them. Also try working on them without your shoes, because that just puts you another inch closer to the floor with your feet and helps you just get a little bit more, right? It's like having to, being on shoes is like having to come up and over something that's a little bit higher, so it makes it harder. So try without shoes too. And remember, you don't have to come up. Just try it out. Try out the rolling first. Try out any part of it you want. Slowly get used to it. So here we go. Number 10, reindeer push-ups. These are Mike Tyson push-ups, which are basically a push-up followed by what looks like kind of a bear crawl down dog. So you're gonna go into this position. So wide feet, hips back, pushing the arms forward. And then you're gonna come forward into a push-up. So I'm gonna go to knee push-ups. I'm gonna adjust where my hands are. I'm gonna do the push-up. Tip my feet into the floor. I need to bring my hands back a little and press, right? You wanna find that good spot where you can really elongate your back and come back down, forward, push up, and toes, bring it back, press. If you want to do regular push-ups, you don't have to put your knees down. I can barely do that. And then press in, come back. I'm gonna do a knee push-up again. I really don't work on push-ups very often. The thing is with push-ups, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the form here. You could even have your knees closer to make your push-up even easier. So let me show you that option. You don't even have to do a full knee push-up like this. You can work on your push-up in here first. We want to keep the hands right under the chest. We want to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. And we want to allow the elbows to just go out at their natural 45-degree angle, approximately. Right? So I'm keeping a little bit of squish. Like if there were a piece of paper under my armpit right here, I'm gonna squish it. I'm gonna hold on to it with my upper arm. Then while I do the push-up, I still kind of hold on to it with my upper arm, even though my elbow goes back about 45 degrees. So squish that paper, bring the chest down between the thumbs, press back up. Then you can come up to the hands and knees, press. It's a really nice back stretch in between actually. Come back down, do your push-up. Put those, I'm putting the toes out wide because that feels nicer to do your bear crawl part of it, your reindeer part of it. Right, we're pretending this is reindeer feeding on the ground or something, I don't know. Okay, press in. Toes out wide, bring it up, press in. Right, when you do that press, it's really about elongating the back and pushing the floor forward. I've totally lost count of how many I've done of those, but we're gonna pretend I've done 10. That was number 10, reindeer push-ups. Number 11, Lords a-hinging. 11, Lords a-hinging. This is a stiff-legged deadlift. Okay, so optional to have weights or not, so I'm gonna grab another weight for myself for this one. I'll show it with weights, but you can just hang your arms down and not use weights. It also could be thought of as a good morning exercise, although when we do a good morning, we usually have our hands up here and we do the hinge, whereas when you do a deadlift, you have your hands down. So we're gonna have hands down because that's just an easier position, for the hands. And then of course you can add weight as you're ready. There's something to think, couple things to think about here. We're gonna push, I'll start this way to show you. We're going to squeeze the butt because what happens if you kind of watch how I squeeze my butt, I unsqueeze my butt, I squeeze my butt, what happens to my thighs is that they get slightly rotated outward, and that helps me hold on to that side butt squeeze and keep my legs and glutes engaged. From there, feet are facing forward, they're parallel to each other, you're squeezing your butt to slightly rotate those thighs outward. Then I'm gonna send my butt back. So the weights are gonna fall straight down this line of my center point, right in front of my shins or close to my shins. I keep that tabletop back so I'm not losing the shoulders like this. I'm holding on to them like this. And then to come up, keep that butt squeeze and start to tuck or squeeze or tighten the butt forward until you're all the way up here. Then again, you're gonna send the butt back. You wanna find balance. Right? So we're not trying to bother our low back. Here's how I would bother my low back. I forget to move my butt back and I just start bringing my torso forward and I wonder why there's so much weight dumping into my toes and my toes are gripping and why does this feel so weird? Because I forgot to get my butt back, right? Get your butt back and find that balance and squeeze it up. So think of your hips actually as moving back. You're closing a drawer behind you. And then the drawer is opening and pushing your butt back forward. And the whole time, you're holding on to that good control through the shoulders. That means you're keeping the shoulders back, you're keeping a little bit of proud chest, you're keeping a tabletop back, and you don't have to go this far down. That's a lot of hamstring stretch, especially if you've got weight. That's a lot of control the hamstrings have to be used to. So I might just go to here without weight at first, and then squeeze. Make sure when you come up, you're actually squeezing. You're really thinking about that squeeze of the butt that slightly rotates your thighs out and helps you use your butt and your hamstrings to come back up. Okay, so that's 11, Lords a-hinging. And then 12 is Slays a-lifting. 12 Slays a-lifting. So this one, I'm gonna use this chair and it's gonna look awkward, but when you're at home, I want you to find some table, hopefully, that you can hold the edges of the table above you, laying on your back. So I'm gonna shove this under this chair. Pretend this is a small table. It could be a side table that you lay under. It could be your kitchen table, although I'm guessing that might be too wide to grab up on, but you could try it. Or it could be a chair like this. I'm gonna dive my way through this chair. And this is also a little bit low, so you want something a little bit higher because this is only like 6 inches above me. I want something where I can actually reach up here more. My knees are bent, my feet are flat. We're basically doing a horizontal row, or like a horizontal pull-up. So pretend I'm actually coming from higher here. I'm grabbing up at the edges. I'm gonna keep those shoulders back and lift myself up. So that's option one, just lifting your upper body up, your butt stays on the floor, right? Lift, I'm actually gonna come down. You don't wanna be way up here because then you're trying to pull at your shoulders. You wanna actually pull closer to where your elbows are, right? Pull up and down. It's basically a back row. Or you can make this harder, lift more of your weight and actually lift your whole butt off the floor, keeping your body straight, making your back muscles work harder to lift more of your weight. So those are the two options. If you don't really have a good table or option for this, but you have like a pull-up bar in a doorway, you could even possibly put a chair under that and kind of sit sideways in the chair and then use the pull-up bar to kind of sort of horizontally roll yourself or pull yourself up. Let me see if I can sort of mimic that. So if I had my chair, like let's say my pull-up bar is in the doorway here, I might have the chair sideways so that I can kind of, I don't know if this would still be way too high, it might, but you can try it out. So I would, here, I'll do it this way. All right, so pretend my pull-up bar is up here above me, and then I could kind of lay back. I don't know if this is gonna work. This is an idea that who knows if this will work, but you're gonna hold the pull-up bar and you can basically, it doesn't even have to be a full horizontal roll. It can horizontal row. It can just be a little bit horizontal, right? So you could be partially leaned back, have your feet on the floor, and do pull-ups up to your pull-up bar like this off the chair and back on the chair. And I'm kind of almost doing an upright pull-up, but I'm also a little bit leaned back. So however you could work it out to do rows, pull-ups, whatever version of this you can make work, whether it's with a table, a pull-up bar where you're slightly leaned back and your feet are on the floor, maybe even having like your knees or feet on the chair and trying sort of a partial horizontal row. We're trying to work the back. We want to really feel like we've got control of lifting some amount of our body weight by squeezing those shoulder blades back and rowing in, right? That's the idea for that one. And you do hopefully 12 of them. If you need to break that up, do a few rest, that's fine. If you can't quite make it to 12, that's fine too. Putting the effort in, doing the best you can is what counts. You could even, I guess I'm trying to think, if you don't actually do 12, I guess you didn't really do it, but if you can't do 12 of them and you put your best effort in and you got 8 of them, that's fine, that works. Because you can always build on that. So that is our 12 moves, and they will count for bonus points. Like I said, nobody has to do these in my holiday hustle. It's all for fun, it's extra. I'm hoping that this instructional video will help more people want to try to do them because they're great ways to stay really strong and mobile in all these kind of tinier muscles and some bigger muscles. It's really a good combination of everything that our bodies should be more fit at doing. So thanks guys, bye-bye.